What's going on, everybody? Today I'm excited to bring you another video, and I wanted to talk today about why I did an Ironman and how I was able to actually complete an Ironman without even knowing how to swim. I was 45 pounds overweight and in terrible shape when I decided to do one and signed up for one. And I just kind of wanted to talk about the process of what led me to make that decision, why I even wanted to do that, and how I was able to actually get it done. So it was about 2 years ago where I would say kind of a low point in my life. I didn't really know what I wanted to do with my life. I just felt like I was kind of lost, kind of directionless. And I was really looking to kind of make some sort of change in my life, but I didn't really know what to do or where to go. And so I encountered a program that was about self-development, how to set goals and really craft a vision for yourself, what you wanted for your life. And I had never really done that before. So I thought that was super interesting to think about long-term where you actually want to go in life, because I realized that I had never really sat down and taken some time to do that. We all have kind of vague ideas of what we want for our lives, but I never really sat down and had specific questions and answers and things that I wanted to accomplish in time frames and things like that. And so I got really motivated to work to try to achieve these things, but I really quickly found that having a goal is not the same as actually achieving one. So it's I would set a goal, but I would not really make any progress towards it, or I would set a goal and work to try to achieve it, but I wouldn't really get anywhere. And another thing that the program that I had purchased was teaching was kind of how to sell services online. And so my idea was what's a service that's really in demand is weight loss. So I thought I could be a weight loss coach just because there's so much demand for it, that I thought it would be a fairly easy thing to get into, because I could help a lot of different people because there's so much demand for that kind of thing. And so that's what I decided I was going to do. So here I was 45 pounds overweight. I was like, well, if I can learn to lose this weight myself and to get things done on my own, then I can kind of teach that to other people and show them how I did it, these struggles I encountered, and what I did to push through that and achieve success. And I really wanted to take this to another level, and that's why I decided to do the Ironman. And so if you don't know what an Ironman is, it's a triathlon, which means you do swimming, then biking, then running. And in the Ironman, you do a 2.4 mile swim, 112, I think, mile bike ride, and then a 26 mile run. And so it's a lot to go from, obviously, from doing nothing to go to that level. And so I thought if I was able to go from being 45 pounds overweight, never exercising, eating unhealthy, to completing that, then I would really have something valuable to teach to other people. And that was really more my motivation than being wow, look at this thing I did. I really wanted to focus on the process of I knew that if I was able to go from being overweight to completing an Ironman, then I would have a really strong, proven process for change. So that was my main motivation for doing that. And basically I was my own guinea pig. When I first started, I could barely run a mile. And, after a while, I didn't even want to put my running shoes on. I did not even want to go outside. It was cold. I didn't want to exercise, the normal things that everybody else faces. But I kept telling myself, I'm going to learn how to combat these things and push through them. And so I was able to run 2 miles, then 3 miles. And I was stuck at 3 miles for a while, but then I got it a little bit higher than that. And, before you know it, I was running 10 miles every day, and it wasn't even that hard for me. And I also didn't know how to swim. If you put me in a pool, I could tread water and kind of dog paddle and to the other side, but I could not freestyle swim. I did not know how. It took me probably 3 months just to learn how to swim, and that was very bad swimming. I'll just say that. And the only way that I was able to pass the Ironman swim test basically was to get you were allowed to have on a wetsuit, because it was in almost towards the winter, so the water was cold. And if you don't know, a wetsuit kind of insulates you, keeps you warmer, so you're allowed to wear a full body wetsuit. And there are limits on the thickness of it. So you could do, I think 3 millimeter was the maximum thickness of neoprene, it's called. It's a material that has a little bit of buoyancy to it. And so I got the thickest one that I could that had met the regulations, so that basically you kind of float along the top of the water, and then all you need to do is more propel yourself forwards rather than upwards as well, because I'm negatively buoyant, so I just kind of sink to the ground. And so yeah, it was basically a year of me training, and I had my day-to-day job. I was working on a lot of other things at the same time. So I really needed a way to be able to manage all these things, and more importantly, to be able to execute on them and actually get them done. Because let me tell you, like, if you go through a long day where you get up at 5 a.m. and then you go through a full day of work, and then you have some other things after work you need to take care of, well, it's 6 or 7 p.m. at night. Well, now you've got a 2-hour run you need to go on. And in order to be able to motivate yourself, in order to get that done, you really need to be able to develop strategies. And that's what I became like obsessed with is, how can I get to that next level? How can I tap that extra reserve that I know I have, I just haven't been able to use yet? And so during this period, I learned so much, and I was able to put everything into kind of a training process in order to show someone else how to do it. And if you're not familiar with it, let me grab it here. I'm coming out with a Kickstarter called the True Potential Planner, and it's basically distilled. I've got a picture of it here. This is the planner I use every day, and it basically has distilled all the wisdom I've learned in this year of completing the Ironman, and that was a year ago. So now I've been doing even more than that, and it's really like condensed all this wisdom into just these 2 pages on the planner, so that you can structure your day and set yourself up for success every day. And this is going to be releasing on October the 27th of 2020, and I'm going to be releasing that on Kickstarter.com. So check that out if you are interested in like following the same exact process, and that because I discovered there's a step-by-step process that you need to use to set goals, be able to execute on them every single day, because it's easy to set a goal, but it's much more difficult to actually execute on it. And so if you're interested in learning all of the things that I've learned over this 2-year process, go check that out. And I would really appreciate anybody who supports me in my Kickstarter journey. And thank you for listening, and stay tuned for tomorrow, and I'll put out another video for you guys. Thank you so much for listening. Have a great day.